that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Katt Williams just dropped another bombshell, and this time he's pointing fingers straight at Beyoncé, accusing her of having blood on her hands. He's claiming she's connected to multiple mysterious deaths and even keeping the bodies in her mansion for dark spiritual rituals. Wild, right? At this point, nothing these Hollywood elites do could surprise anyone, because when fame and power are on the line, they'll go to extremes to keep their thrones. Now, remember when Jaguar Wright risked everything to expose this same madness? She went on Piers Morgan's show and spilled every drop of tea she had, even when it meant putting her own safety on the line.
Publicly, Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's
Potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
Beyoncé and Jay-Z weren't having it, though. They allegedly tried to silence her and even threatened lawsuits against both Jaguar and Piers. But guess what? Katt Williams clearly didn't get the memo to stay quiet, because he's out here talking loud and fearless. And baby, the details he's spilling go way beyond what Jaguar ever dared to say. Katt's not just claiming Beyoncé destroyed lives and careers, he's saying she had a hand in ending them and describing exactly how it went down. His version is dark, twisted, and flat out chilling.
White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand, see? I mean,
So, here's the real question. Who are these 12 people he says Beyoncé sacrificed? And where in the world is she allegedly keeping them for her so-called rituals? The streets are talking, and her silence on all this just makes everything sound even more suspicious. Some of the people Beyoncé's been accused of taking out weren't random at all. They either got too close to Jay-Z or started threatening her spot at the top of the game. One of the first names that always pops up in these whispers is Blue Cantrell. Yeah, the same Blue who was running the early 2000s R&B scene like a boss. She had 5 major record labels fighting to sign her. Her voice was everywhere and fans couldn't get enough. But then, out of nowhere, her whole career just crashed. And guess what?
Jay-Z romantically?
No. No, I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
Oh, she's touching him up the neck! Look! You see?
Why do people not want to let the Jay-Z Blue Cantrell thing go? Him?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're about 25.
Why? He needs somebody younger than that?
At the end of the day, yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because I think at the end of the day, a younger, less savvy to the ways of the world broad.
Somebody a little bit more naive.
It all went down right after she allegedly crossed paths with Beyoncé. Back in 2003, Blue dropped her second studio album, Bittersweet, the same year Beyoncé was stepping out solo and making her mark with Dangerously in Love. Coincidence? Maybe not. Because one thing about Bey, she wasn't about to let another woman shine brighter than her during her big debut era, and the plot thickens. Because word on the street was that Blue and Jay had a little something going on behind the scenes. Rumors were flying that Jay was sneaking around, and Beyoncé wasn't having it.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is f***ing you. And the boss's boss don't get no Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You, Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Oof. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. you're protecting her. Wonder why?
In fact, she may have even hinted at the whole situation in her song Signs. Remember those lyrics? I was in love with a Sagittarius. I wish he was a Virgo. The same sign as me and know how to show me love. Because I've been hurt by a Pisces. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Jay-Z is a Sagittarius, and Blue Cantrell is a Pisces. According to TMZ, things took a scary turn for Blue Cantrell after her run-in with Beyoncé. Reports claimed her life was being threatened, and what happened next had everyone talking. Witnesses said Blue was seen running through the streets of Santa Monica at 2 a.m., panicking and shouting that someone was trying to end her life. She said people were releasing poisonous gas to take her out. The scene got so wild that the cops had to step in and place her under psychological evaluation. Fans couldn't believe it. One minute she was topping charts, the next she was running from invisible enemies in the dead of night. Some people chalked it up to stress and mental health issues, but others whispered something way darker. That Blue had gotten too close to powerful people and was being handled to keep her quiet.
The shocking allegations leveled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harbored a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
And Blue wasn't the only one said to have felt that smoke from Beyoncé's circle. Another name that comes up over and over again is Mia, the R&B princess who had the game in a chokehold before allegedly Beyoncé came into the picture and flipped everything upside down. Mia's story mirrors Blue's almost too perfectly. She was thriving, dropping hits and doing her thing until she crossed paths with Jay-Z. It all started when they teamed up for their collab, Best of Me, Part 2. Their chemistry was undeniable. Fans were convinced there was more going on than just music. And rumor had it, Beyoncé didn't like that one bit. Fast forward to 2014, and Beyoncé seemed to pour gasoline on that old rumor mill during a live performance of her song Resentment. The original lyric said, "I've been crying for too long. What did you do to me? I was riding for you for so long." But on stage, she switched it up to something way more personal. "I know she was attractive, but I was here first, boy. Been riding with you for 12 years. Why did you do this to me? I'm not that crazy, bae." That was the energy fans felt all over social media after the chaos that followed. Because right around that same time, TMZ dropped the infamous elevator footage, the one showing Solange swinging on Jay-Z like she'd been holding back for years. The world went wild trying to piece it together, and instantly, the cheating rumors came roaring back. According to reports, a so-called inside source from Beyoncé's own team reached out to Media Takeout with a bombshell story claiming Beyoncé had found out Jay was cheating, and the woman was none other than Maya. The source said it all went down right after Jay and Mia dropped their steamy collab, Best of Me, Part 2. The same project that had already raised eyebrows years before. But here's where things got suspicious. Media Takeout deleted the article just hours later with zero explanation. No correction, no follow-up, nothing. Fans couldn't help but wonder, who made that story disappear so fast? But by then, the internet had already done its thing, and the damage was permanent. The hate and the rumors got so loud that Mia herself had to step in and clear the air. She clapped back saying, "Never did, never was, never will." Illegitimate, thirsty sources with no facts, and that's the media for you, especially today. I play second to no one. I pay my own bills, have my own label, my own management, rely on God only. I respect myself and marriage too much for nonsense. But even after she denied everything, the fallout hit her hard. Her manager later confirmed Mia had been blackballed in the industry because of the cheating rumors and that she even started receiving death threats from Beyoncé's hardcore fans. That's when things turned from messy to downright dangerous. At first, it all seemed like internet chaos. Harmless drama, right? But then the threats got personal, and Mia's career started fading out of the spotlight. And just when everyone thought the dust was settling, another name got dragged into the same storm: Rita Ora. Only 2 years later, she allegedly found herself on the wrong side of Beyoncé's fury after being accused of getting too close to Jay-Z. Beyoncé didn't hold back one bit when she dropped "sorry," and fans instantly knew she was calling someone out. That line, "Looking at my watch, he should have been home today. I regret the night I put that ring on. He better call Becky with the good hair," hit the world like a thunderclap. Everyone could feel the rage and betrayal in her voice. And when she said Becky with the good hair, the internet went into full detective mode trying to figure out exactly who she was talking about. At that time, Rita Ora was already catching serious heat. She was signed to Jay-Z's Roc Nation, and rumors were flying that she and Jay were a little too close for comfort, and then Rita went and made things worse for herself. She posted a Snapchat photo wearing a lemon-printed bra, a not-so-subtle nod to Beyoncé's Lemonade era, and a necklace with the letter J. The internet lost its mind. Fans took that as straight-up trolling, and Bey supporters came down on her like a storm. But here's where it gets even darker, because according to some of the wildest allegations floating around, Beyoncé's so-called revenge didn't stop with music. People online started whispering that she allegedly went after some women who had actually been involved with Jay-Z. And one of the most chilling claims involves a woman named Kathy White, who tabloids once reported to be Jay-Z's alleged pregnant mistress. Fast forward to Beyoncé's 2023 album Cowboy Carter, and she dropped a haunting track called Daughter. Fans immediately connected the dots when they heard the line, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors, your bloodstains on my custom couture bathroom attendant." Let me write, she was a big fan. "I really tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do." Those were the chilling lyrics Beyoncé sang on Daughter, and fans couldn't stop dissecting every single word. The imagery was dark, violent, and way too specific to ignore. What really got people talking was the timing, because right around Kathy White's death, the pathologist ruled it as a brain aneurysm. But not everyone bought that story. Jaguar Wright came out swinging, claiming that Jay-Z and Beyoncé weren't just connected to Kathy, she said they were responsible for what happened to her. According to Jaguar, this wasn't some random tragedy, it was a setup. And if you thought that was the end of it, oh no. Jaguar doubled down in another interview, and the things she said left even her own fans speechless. She didn't just point fingers about Kathy's death. She went as far as to say Beyoncé faked her pregnancy and that Blue Ivy might actually be the child Kathy was carrying before she was allegedly taken out. The internet exploded with debates, think pieces, and wild theories. It was chaos. Then came that infamous Piers Morgan interview I mentioned earlier, the one that had Beyoncé and Jay-Z's team fuming. Jaguar didn't hold back at all. She went all in. In that interview, she accused the power couple of being tied to multiple mysterious industry deaths, even dragging Aaliyah's name into it. Jaguar claimed Beyoncé and Jay-Z had invested millions to make sure people like R. Kelly and Diddy went down hard, not just for justice, but to supposedly erase any trail that could connect them to the same crimes before law enforcement got too close. When Jaguar Wright first dropped those shocking claims, most people brushed her off like she'd finally lost it. She had no receipts, no photos, no proof, just bold accusations flying left and right, expecting everyone to take her word for it because, well, she's Jaguar Wright. But then, things took a turn that made even her biggest critics start to side-eye the situation. See, everything changed when Beyoncé and Jay-Z allegedly tried to shut her down legally. Word spread that they were threatening to sue both Jaguar and Piers Morgan over that explosive interview. And that was a major red flag for a lot of fans. Because let's be real, if her story was really just made-up nonsense, why even react at all? Why go through the trouble of calling up lawyers and trying to bury the story? The fact that the Carters even acknowledged those rumors was enough to get people whispering that maybe, just maybe, Jaguar wasn't completely off base. Her interview had them rattled, and the public could feel it. Suddenly, the crazy singer didn't seem so crazy anymore. She seemed like someone who might have hit a nerve. And now, it's not just Jaguar stirring the pot, because Katt Williams has reportedly joined the mix, spilling major behind-the-scenes tea about Beyoncé too. According to The Chatter, Katt's been calling out how almost every woman who's crossed paths with her or Jay-Z seems to mysteriously fall off right after. He's been saying loud and clear that it's no coincidence, and that the truth will eventually come out for everyone to see. Nobody knows for sure how much of this is real, but one thing's for sure, Katt Williams has never been the type to hold his tongue, especially when it comes to Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Katt Williams didn't hold back one bit when he sat down for that infamous interview with Shannon Sharpe last year. In that sit-down, he didn't just throw shade, he flat out hinted that Beyoncé and Jay-Z had sold their souls to reach the level of fame and power they have today. His words were cryptic, but the message was clear. He believes their success came with a dark price tag attached. And of course, the internet exploded after that. Everyone had something to say, fans, critics, and conspiracy watchers alike. One comment summed up the vibe perfectly. Katt called it, 2024 is the year all secrets will be revealed. I pray God brings all of them down, but I'm appalled that everyone speaking out now has known this. They're just trying to save themselves. Demons will always demon. Another fan chimed in with a take that sent chills through the timeline. Aaliyah was a triple threat. She could sing, dance, and act. I've always said that if Aaliyah were still alive, Beyoncé wouldn't be where she is. That opinion has been floating around for years, but hearing it resurface after Katt's comments just reignited all the speculation and old Hollywood gossip. So now the question is, do you think Katt Williams is telling the truth about Beyoncé and Jay-Z? Could they really be connected to the mysterious downfalls and deaths of the people around them? Or is this just another wild theory gone too far? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below, hit that like button, share this video with your people, and make sure you're subscribed. Because trust